All right, the 23rd of May, 2021. I got my second Moderna vaccine for Corona, and I'll be free here pretty soon. So check this out. This is a video number 15, I believe. And I'm gonna go down my list right here like I always do. Here we go, here we go, here we go. This is the only thing I've ever crossed off the list, so that's that glass panoramic sunroof I was gonna do, but I got the car inspected. Everything is red dotted, so I'm kind of done right now. And then horns mounted, rear USB, visor support, all the connections are in, wiper, 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 fan wires. Well, hold on. So mount front seats, that's done. Fan wires, that's done. Shocks in the front, that's done. Door panels, sliding glass in the rear, I think I've already showed you that. Kick panels are in and covered. Speedometer from Classic Instruments, that nice expensive one. Done, wired up, calibrated. And gear indicator, I'll show you that in a couple of seconds. But this should be video number 15, which is basically meaning that the last video for this build is kind of like complete right now. So I'll drive this a little bit later on. I started these videos about 3 months ago, so you're going to see in retrospect 3 months worth of build just because I haven't had time to do anything on it, or I haven't had time to post a video. But I should get that tonight, which is the 23rd of May 2021. So this video series starts right around the end of, let's say, February, January time frame. So anyway, just real quick, not to get off subject here, this is all the 914 LS3 stuff. I've got everything sandblasted, powder coated, and then put together with new parts and everything. So this is the next project I'm starting, or kind of like simultaneously working on. Small block Chevy, small block Chevy, small block Chevy, small block Chevy, cylinder heads. Anyway, let me come over here. That's that cool old 1960s, 70s bandsaw I got for cutting metal. And here's one of those motors I got out of Texas that came with the truck shipment. So I got one of them kind of cleaned up and getting ready to crank the thing up and look at it. There's the 36. It's completely done right now, ready to go to the German inspection station, and it's bone stock original. And check out this interior here. Pretty spiffy. And my normal guy who does my upholstery does that for me as well. Anyway, cruising over here, and I'll just do a road tour right now. Then I got a couple of videos I'll show you after the fact that I've been working on. Like I had a minor problem with electrical on the LS motor, but I solved that about 3 or 4 days ago. And I think that's about it. Beautiful day here in Germany. And again, you'll see a couple of videos now of me actually driving this thing down the road. So take it for a spin now. So heading on the Autobahn here, and for you fine folks in the United States of America, there are no speed limits, so you kind of got to watch yourself and not do stupid stuff. But I've had this car well above 100, 110 miles an hour. I think it was 115, and got to be careful out here because there's a lot of faster cars out here, so you got to be careful. There went an Audi just now. So anyway, I'm just going to cruise down the Autobahn here, maybe 100 miles an hour, nothing big, and then go from there. I'm in full automatic right now. And what I wanted to show everybody is the vent window delete. So in the summertime, when you got your windows down, this is what it looks like right here. So this is gone right now. So that's kind of a nice feature. And the same thing on the other side right here. And then I'm just cruising about 70 miles an hour on nothing big. So I can actually right now, if I want to, bring up my tablet. And then there's my RPM. So I'm cruising at, let me get up to about 70 miles an hour here. And that's the Classic Instruments cluster right there. I'm at 70 miles an hour, maybe 75, and that's what's so beautiful about it. You've got 2,000 RPM showing right now, so that's really good about it. So anyway, Still the 23rd of May, beautiful weather here in Germany, and cars running fine right now, so this should be video number, I think, 15 right now, so take care, bye-bye. Oh, and if you want to hear what it sounds like with the exhaust open, you basically just got to come down here, and my back windows here, right here, and it basically opens up the QTBs, and that's what they sound like. Now, if you want to go to manual mode, you come right down here where it says manual shift up and down, you push the button, and now I'm manual mode, and I come over here, and I go up shift, down shift. By just pushing it down, you'll see the engine change. So now I'm in third gear, and the lockup converter is out. And you can just, you know, romp on it from here. But it's going to stay in that gear, it's not going to shift. And depending on where you're at, it's got a safety built into it. I'm at 2,000-3,000, I can actually go right down here, push it one more time, and I'm still not revving the motor too much. But now you've got that kick on it. And then upshift. So it's kind of hard to do with the camera in your hand and driving with your knees, so I'll stop doing that now. So, beautiful weather here, and this is A45 heading towards Frankfurt, Germany. So take care, bye-bye, and see you around. So, exhausts are open up right now, QTB. I'm just on the back road right here, and it's in full automatic right now, so depending on how heavy your foot is what the computer will figure out. Just switch into the lockup gear, or the lockup converter just kicked in. So basically now, my dongle you see down there, and then if you're, I don't know, 40-50 miles an hour and you romp on it, it'll actually shift down up to 2 gears. So I'll try that one time. All right, so check this out. This is pretty cool stuff. So you guys be careful, because this thing does get away from you. Love that. That's what I love about LS motors, man. They just flat out get it. But I gotta be careful with the exhaust open. Like if I go by that bicycle driver out there, I'll literally scare the crap out of them. So I'll slow down here again, get this car out of me. Roger here. We've got the 11th of April 2021. This is a Sunday, and I'm playing with my 55 Nomad here with the LS3 in it. Everything's working fine right now, and let me show you this little issue I was having right here. If you can tell right now, it's still cold, 170. Not until this thing gets right around 190, 200 does the actual ECU start taking the outside parameters, which is like oxygen sensors, which you can see right here, or I've got them put right down here. You can look right here. My fuel pressure is spot on at exactly 58 PSI. That's what that Corvette regulator does. And if you notice right now, my fuel trims were sitting at about 20, 23, 24, and that's basically because it goes to default mode. The computer says, hey, the engine is still cold, don't worry about it right now. And actually, right now they're going about 18, 20. That's the duration of the fuel injectors on bank 1 or 2, just saying, hey, stay open a little bit longer, give this thing a little bit more fuel because it's cold. Now eventually it's going to start taking what's called closed circuit, and closed circuit basically means it's taking input from the oxygen sensor 1 and 2, bank 1 and bank 2, temperature sensors, mass, airflow, and all that good stuff, and this will drop down to what's called 0. These will zero each other out, and that basically goes back to what the manufacturer says. Now, when I was driving this thing down the road, I was getting like surges, like your typical vacuum leak. So I think I actually found what it was. It was a couple of O-rings on the back of the LS motor. So it's a plastic intake manifold. If you think you're just going to snug that thing good and tight, use a torque wrench, okay? The other thing is my vacuum takeoff on the back for my power brakes was not on too good, so I just put a clamp on that one. I think I've solved this issue. I'll get back with you in just a second when these fuel trims will go down to 0 and this thing will run absolutely smooth. So now you see what it's doing here? This is a quick average. This is like short term, and this is long term right here. So this thing is starting to get down to where all of the external sources from the motor, you know, load, RPM, throttle plate position, is all starting to talk to each other, and these things will start zeroing each other out right now. -2, and this is exactly where it should be. When we get to 0 right here, it's telling the ECU or the guy who designed this thing from GM, the LS motor, like this is right about where it should be to get to that, what are they called, stoichiometric ratio of 14.7 to 1. And that's exactly what this is doing. And again, I can cruise over here and look at my oxygen sensors for 1 and 2. I don't have a graph on here. I guess I can figure out how to do that, but I also can do a radial gauge. But basically this goes from, I believe, 1 to 5 volts, and you can, or 1.1 to 1 volt. And so you can see right now it's hovering, jumping back and forth. So it's giving the right indicator to the motor. Actually, here you can see it a little bit better. Sensor 1 and sensor 2. And then if you look right down here, this is my air mass flow meter. Hold on. It's moving. And then you can see my fuel rates. Basically, it's close to almost 0% if you minus those two out. And that's exactly what it should be doing. So I'll come out here in just a second. And what I also don't have now is, when I cranked this thing up earlier, I had that, you know, gas smell or raw smell. This thing is purring like a little kitten right now. And here you can see also I got 58 PSI right here. I did throw another belt on here just because the other one was squeaking. Fan just cut on right now. I got them in the front and the back. And I've got everything cleaned up. Now here, one little thing right here. You see this little hose right down here? It basically comes out from the valley pan, goes directly into the intake right here. Now the only thing I read online last night is it's always a good idea to run a oil separator. Underneath all this in the valley pan for the LS3, they got a pretty extensive oil separator in there. But I noticed when I took this thing off here, I did have oil inside it right here. So I'm just gonna add an additional oil separator. I got one on the way right now from Amazon or eBay. I forgot to order it this morning, like 30, 40 bucks. And it'll be a nice little aluminum can that sits right here. And it'll come up right here and it'll go right back into here. And these are nothing more than just fresh air vents right now for my motor. I do have to figure out what I got to do with those. I'm probably going to put them into the actual venting. Because remember, this is all what's called metered air, so it has to go after here, which this particular one does. But anyway, that's basically it. This thing is running pretty smooth. And while we're here, actually, let me just go here and cut this sucker off right now. Here's what's cool about here. I can actually take this thing and just out of sight, out of mind. Clean. Or what I usually do is I'll leave that one right there and I just close it and push it up about that high so I can see my engine RPM. Or you can also put a navigation system right here. And then that's it. Got the lights cut on. Let me push this over here. Oh, let me show you this little feature here. I think I showed you this the last time. If I push this button right here, the light cuts on, and I've got manual shift mode. And then what I did on the other side right here, you can see that I've got my manual up down shift right here. And those are those things I had 3D laser printed, so it just says up shift, down shift, and there it is right there. And again, let me just go ahead and cut this thing off. Cool. So everything's working. This thing's got plenty of power now, and it's smoother. While I'm here, I'll just show you the little surprises I did this weekend. A guy delivered some small block Chevys. One's a 62 and one's a 59. And these things are basically laying in a on the side of a crate. And these are ones I had put in the back of these trucks that I got. I got this truck, which is a 36 Dodge. The 46 is up at the other place, parked in the garage, and the 51 is already gone. But anyway, check this out. So I just figured this out. This thing looked like it was rebuilt. So I took a look on the inside of it, and it has been rebuilt. This is all new stuff up in here. So the only thing I did is I took a little bit of orange paint, cleaned it up. It was already painted orange and everything. Went ahead and typed all this up here. So the only thing right here is this little, I guess what do you call it? The 97 Strongbergs. So they're not the original ones, but these are kind of pricey right here. I picked this up in Moultrie at the flea market for little money. I'll say little money to me is 600 bucks. Still kind of pricey. And what I'm doing, I'm going to put this thing together. This is an old Puretronics distributor, a flamethrower that I have literally in a box for the last 3-4 years. And I'm going to put this little setup right here. I already got my little intake my exhaust stainless steels on here. The plugs I had laying around, they're brand new. And I've just been basically painting it up and cleaning it up a little bit, and I'll get this thing cranked up and add it to my little collection over here. There's the other stuff, and I got to clean up back here because this is all the Porsche stuff. The Porsche with the LS3, which is sitting right here. And I also got my brakes completely done on here. The only thing I'm waiting for a company in Michigan right now called, I don't know, Classic Dodge Parts or whatever, or Mopar. They're sending me these flexible hoses right here because the other ones were kind of like dry rotted, cracked. So I got to get past German inspection, so that's kind of important. But all this stuff was new. One thing it is, I took it completely apart and kind of honed it up a little bit, cleaned it up. And then the upholstery guy just came back, called me on Friday. So I went ahead and picked up all these. These are these panels I've been telling you about. I just cut the panels myself. You get Home Depot, the panels or whatever. It's like Formica wood. And then I just draw on here exactly what I want. And this guy sews it up for a reasonable amount of money. He completely redid this. There was a couple of springs broken in here, so he actually fixed those for me and then put padding in here. So this thing looks pretty killer up in here right now, nice and clean. Even the kick panels are in here. I don't know if you can see them, it's kind of dark. But anyway, pretty stoked about that. I know this is about the Nomad, but sharing project information. And then over here, I've got most of my stuff cut out. I got another video set on the LS3 build that's going into this one. Here's my first practice door in silver. Turned out pretty good, pretty straight. And I basically just got them mounted in here. I got to take care of this right here. This is on both sides. I imagine either a block of wood or something was in it because it broke it on both sides, but that's minor. Car's going to be silver, and like I said, that's my practice piece. Other door, I'm going to practice on that one too, but the goal is to paint this entire thing up in here. That's it. Back over to the Nomad. Things running strong. I'm going to do a 4-wheel alignment on it here probably within the week. There's what's called the auto craft shop for the military over here, and I'll take it to that. But other than that, this thing is turnkey, ready to go right now. I did order a headliner for it. I think it's in Georgia or Oklahoma, I'm not quite sure. I found them on eBay, and I've got the black perforated material. I just got to find an afternoon when I'm not busy and do that. So anyway, take care. That's it from Runneberg, Germany. Take care. Bye-bye.